Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is an all levels family yoga class. So in honor of Earth Day turning 50 this year, we're going to celebrate the earth through yoga. We'll have lots of postures that are named after critters, so maybe you're familiar with some of them, and feel free to make any of their noises they make. I won't be doing that, but at home you sure can. So Earth Day is 50 on April 22nd, 2020. And so some of the other ways we can celebrate Earth Day is by thinking about all the things that we love about our Earth and our planet. All of the critters that live on it. Do you have favorites? All of the plants and trees, animals, all of the stuff that we love about our planet. So we'll be thinking about that with love and gratitude in our heart, giving the Earth a little hug, or giving our hearts a hug. And then also, I'm going to encourage you to think about things that you can do at home. Even though we're all homebound right now, there are things you can do in your own home and in your own yard or neighborhood to take care of the earth. So one idea I have for you is no wasting. So by eating all that you take when you at mealtime and not wasting any food, you save resources, because everything that we eat took time and energy and resources to bring to your table. So the stuff that we waste and thrown away ends up in a landfill, but also all that energy we took to produce it is wasted and lost. So eating mindfully and just eating what you can, or taking what you can eat. The second idea is to think about cleaning up. So glitter cleanup is a great thing to do in the spring after the snow is melted. There's stuff all over. You can do it in your own yard, and you can do it in your neighborhood. If you do it with a parent, you make sure you wear gloves and be careful of what you're picking up. But think about all that stuff that we get out of the neighborhoods so it doesn't go down the drain. So you might have heard some things about plastic pollution in the oceans. Well, plastic and other debris gets in our waterways by going down the sewer. So we need to make sure that we clean all of our neighborhoods up. Even leaves and stuff is not great for sewer systems because it goes into lakes and rivers and streams and pollutes them. So there's another organization called Adopt a Drain. Feel free to check it out. My last quick tip is, if you plan on planting anything this year in your yard, think pollinator friendly. So flowers that will feed all of our pollinators, bees and butterflies and other little critters in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall. And also, if you're planting trees or shrubs, think native Minnesota. So if it was from here, then it can support the habitat that live here. So just a couple things to think about. We are going to start seated, so go ahead and find a comfortable seat and sit up nice and tall. Let your belly be soft and your spine straight and your shoulders back so there's room for your heart. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let that go. And then go ahead and bring your palms to touch, with your pinkies touching and your thumbs touching, but then let your fingers in the center open, and it makes a kind of flower. So this is called Lotus Mudra. Lotus is a flower, and Mudra is like yoga for your hands. And so we're going to put our Lotus Mudra right at our heart center. So you can close your eyes or just drop your gaze into your flower. And we'll breathe here just a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath in. Exhale. Last breath before we move. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and seal up your flower and come to your mat and find a comfortable seat. And we're going to move right into Child's Pose. And actually, we're going to call it Little Seed Pose. So coming in the center of your mat, knees together, ankles together, hips back to your heels, relax your forehead on your mat and swing your arms around to hug yourself up. Maybe grabbing your feet with your hands, stay right here. Think of yourself as a little seed, nice and small and tight, snug and secure on your mat. Feel the weight of your body into the mat, and feel the back of your lungs expanding. Breathe, inhale big. Exhale small. Again, inhale, inflate your lungs. right through your back. Exhale, let that go. Last one like that, big breath in. Exhale. And then just like a seed in the spring, start to move a little bit. Lift your head, crawl your hands out in front, lift your hips up, and separate your knees hip distance and find a little movement. Circle your hips around, letting your body take up a little more space and a little more movement. And then we're going to lift one limb, take one arm and just lift it up and replace it on the ground. Next arm, lift it up and replace it on the ground. One leg lifts, maybe kick it back, back to the ground. Other leg lifts and kicks back, come back to the ground. Fingers are wide, palms are flat. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And then drop your belly, lift your chin. This is cow pose. Take a breath in here. Exhale to cat pose, chin to chest, arch and round. Push through your palms. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale to cat pose, chin to chest, arch and round. One more. Inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale, cat pose. Bring your back to neutral. Walk your hands out a little closer to the top of your mat, and then sink your hips back, but keep them high. Drop your forehead to your mat for puppy pose. Maybe even come up to your fingertips like you're spider webbing your hands. Stretching through your shoulders. Pause here. Take a breath in. Exhale. Release your palms flat. Lift your chest, and then with straight arms, go ahead and rock forward. Drop your hips, lift your toes. Scorpion dog. So hips are dropping, heart is lifting, toes reach just like a scorpion tail. Take a breath in. Exhale, push back to puppy pose, and we'll flow back and forth. Coming forward, scorpion dog. Inhale, lift your chin any amount. Exhale, sink back, puppy pose. One more. Come forward, take a breath in, scorpion dog. Exhale to puppy pose. Coming back to center. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Find tabletop once again. And then go ahead and lift one leg. Send your heel straight up to the sky. Flex your foot and then kick it high. Squeezing your glutes. Take a breath in. Exhale. Send your knee towards your nose. Catch your back. Again, inhale, kick your heel high. Exhale, knee to nose. One more. Inhale, heel high. Exhale, knee to nose, and then pause. And make a circle with your knee. So kind of like a hydrant, like you're lifting your leg up to the side, but circling around, just getting in your hips, and then switch directions. Take big circles with your knees, your leg is bent, and then replace that knee on the ground. Other leg. Send your heel up to the sky, flex your foot, kick it a little higher, take a breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, catch your back. Inhale, kick your heel. Exhale, cat your back, bring your knee towards your nose. Again, inhale, lift it high. Exhale, release it toward the floor, and then big circles with your knee. So just feel that stretch in your hips. And then change directions. Keep your breath big and full, and then release. And then once again, come to tabletop and bring your attention to your shoulders. So you're going to draw your scapula apart, those are your shoulder blades, and drop your chest down, keeping your belly button pulled in, and then push through your hands and spread your shoulder blades apart, kind of inflating your spine up. And then again, dropping your shoulder blades together, heart comes toward the floor, and then push into the palms. One more like that. Heart comes down, shoulder blades together, and then push through palms to straighten. Go ahead and straighten your right leg. Rocking back and forth to stretch the back of the calf. If you like a stretch for your opposite shin, peel your knee up any amount. And then release your knee down. You're going to kickstand your leg and take a side plank. Peel your hand open, Circle out your wrist and then a big swing of your arm forward and a big swing of your arm backward. You're going to push off your palm and come to gate pose. Take a big breath in. Exhale, side gate, but we're going to bend this back knee and rest our arm right on our thigh. Inhale, exhale, kind of a kneeling side angle pose. And then go ahead, come back, straighten your legs, straighten your arms, cartwheel them to the ground, and then float your back leg up and send it off to the side. So it's straight out to your side. Knee can be bent or straight. Toes can point forward or out to an angle, whatever is most comfortable in your own body. Keeping your hand planted, open up to your lifted leg, the leg out to the side. Inhale, lift up, let that feel good. Exhale, thread the needle, but we're just going to hover and flow. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, hover and flow, twist any amount. Take a big breath in, that should feel good on the inside of your right leg. Exhale, hover and flow. And then release your hand, release your knee back to tabletop. So we'll straighten the other leg, the one you didn't do first, rocking back and forth. Feel that stretch in the calf. And then the added stretch for the front of your right shin, so the top of my foot is flat on the ground, pushing kind of against my toes. And then knee can float down, heel can kickstand, left heel drops. And then a big circle forward with your arm. And a big circle back. Send your hand to the sky, push off your palm, gate pose. And then bending into that back leg, elbow to thighs, kind of a side gate, extended side angle on your knee. Might feel good to bounce a little bit. And then inhale to straighten everything up. Exhale, go ahead, plant your palms. Bring your right shin parallel to your body, and then float your left leg off to the side and plant it. Again, toes can be pointed straight forward or out at an angle. Plant your right hand underneath your face, peel your left hand up, open to that lifted leg or the leg that's out to the side. Let this feel good in your torso. Exhale, thread and pause. Come all the way back up. Inhale. Exhale, thread. Big breath in. Exhale, thread the arm under, but we're just hovering. And then release your hand, pull your knee in. Go ahead. We're going to recruit our core muscles right here. So curl your toes under. Push hard into your palms. Push into your tiptoes, or the backs of your toes rather, and hover your knees. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release your knees. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, pick up your knees. Exhale, plant them on the mat. 1 more. Inhale to pick them up. Hold here for 3. Down dog in 2. And 1. Straighten your legs and pedal out your knees. Bending one and then the other. Down dog pose. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Go ahead and rock forward to a high plank pose, like the top of a push-up. Pause right here. You always can drop to your knees if you need to. Keep the back of your neck long. Take a breath in. Exhale, push back to down dog. Inhale forward to high plank. Hold here. And now if you wish, drop your hips down, but keep your toes curled under. Kind of a variation on up dog. If this feels good, stay here. If not, push back to down dog right away. Take 1 more breath in, 1 more breath out, and then lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Go ahead and look forward towards your hands, and then walk your feet to the top of your mat, ragdoll pose. Feet are nice and wide. Grab opposite elbows. Soften your knees, hang heavy. You can bounce or swing or sway. You can also just be still, but think of framing your ears with your biceps and your arms. Option to take a chest expansion if that makes sense in your body. Interlacing your hands above your hips. Lift your knuckles to the sky. Draw your shoulder blades together.
And then release your hands down to the earth. And then walk your hands off in one direction and push your hip off in the opposite direction of your front hand. So this hand is reaching and this hip is reaching away from one another. So a nice big long stretch that whole side of your body. And then walking through center, we'll take that stretch on the other side. And this is a great place for a block. If your hands don't reach the ground, feel free to have a block or a Kleenex box or even your water bottle. So again, this hand is reaching long as I crawl down the ground or on my block. Push your hip away. Feel that cross lateral stretch along your right shoulder, right hip, ribs. And then come back to center. Let's toe heel our feet together to touch. Put a little bend in your knees and slowly roll to stand. We'll stack our pelvis first and then roll up our spine. Go ahead and adjust your clothes if you need to. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a little back bend. Hinge at your elbows. Inhale, your hands high. Exhale, float your arms to your sides. Go ahead and roll your shoulders back a couple of times. And then let's roll them forward, really moving our shoulder blades around. Inhale, send your hands high. Right hand's gonna grab your left wrist, or just one hand grab one wrist. Lift up, and then pull the arm to the side. So feel those stretches in your ribs. Breathe here. Come back to center and switch the grip. Lift up, breath in. Exhale, pull your arm over to deepen that side body stretch. And then come back to center. Take a big breath in, look up and lift up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here. So your thumbs are on your heart center. Go ahead and look down at your fingertips and open up your Lotus Mudra. So opening those fingers in the center. Pause. Eyes can close or look down into your flower. And I would like you to fill it up with gratitude. Gratitude for your favorite things, your favorite animals or critters, your favorite plants or trees, or places to visit in nature. What comes to mind? Can you think of one or two or three? Let them swirl around in your flower. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And with gratitude, let's lift our lotus flower with all of our gratitude for all of our lovely things from this earth up to the sun. Big breath in. Exhale, plant your palms flat together and bring your thumbs to your heart. One last breath here to seal it in. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands to your sides. Take a big breath in, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose, send your arms way back. Inhale, stand all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, sit low, send your arms back, chair pose. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. Last time, inhale to mountain. This time, forward fold. Hinging at your hips, bring your fingertips to your block or the earth. Take a halfway lift and pause. Hands are on your shins or knees. Tailbone reaches straight back, belly pulls in, and your heart is reaching forward and up. Halfway lift right here. One more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up now. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, chair pose. Sit low. Bring your arms out to the sides. Take a big breath in. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Inhale. Exhale, a gentle, easy twist to one direction and open your arms. Gather up. Exhale, bring them together. Come to center. Inhale, twist to the other direction. Open your arms. Take a big breath in. Exhale, gather it up. Come back to center. Reach all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Inhale. Exhale, plant your palms and step back to a high plank. Drop your knees and set your hips way back, forehead down, puppy pose. Rock forward to scorpion dog. Drop your hips, lift your heart. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Again, breath in. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, seat forward. Exhale, move to the top of your mat, hopping or walking. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. This time, interlace your hands behind your back. Big breath in, chest expansion. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your heart. Hold here, exhale. One more inhale. Sending your heart up to the sun. As you exhale, bow your heart to the earth. Hold here, inhale. Exhale, release your fingertips towards your toes. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back to high plank pose. From here, we're going to lower all the way to our belly from knees or toes. Zip your legs together, push your toes down, baby cobra. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, lower your chin. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift your chin, push your hips down, toes down. Exhale, lower your chin. Last one. Inhale to lift your chin. Exhale to lower, curling your toes under. Push to tabletop. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And a breath out. 1 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to see your hands. Exhale, move your feet to the top of your mat, walking or hopping. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, interlace all 10 fingers behind your skull. Tip your chin to the sun. Put the weight of your skull right in your palms and push your hips forward. Let your elbows splay apart. Breathe. Return to center by stacking your shoulders right over your hips. And then a gentle twist over to the right, twisting right in the center of your spine. Come back to center and then twist open in the other direction. Come back to center, lift your chin, inhale. As you exhale, hands reach high and then bow down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank or tabletop and come all the way to your belly. Uncurl your toes, push your toes down. Now you can keep your hands planted for cobra, or for a different challenge, stack your palms right underneath your forehead and lay your forehead on your palms and glue them together. Push your toes down. Inhale, lift your elbows and head up. Exhale, return. Again, inhale, crocodile pose. Exhale, release. Last one like that. Inhale, crocodile or baby cobra if you're choosing that. Exhale, release. Walk your hands back. Curl your toes under, tabletop. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Last time for Sun A. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And let's fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank or tabletop. Lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Stay right here or push into your palms. Bring your chest, hips, and thighs off your mat for up dog. Hold here. If this isn't comfortable in your body, go right to down dog. Take 1 more big breath in. Exhale, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Bring your knees wide on your mat. Bring your toes to touch, hips back to your heels. Traditional extended child's pose. Pause here. Take a couple of breaths. Grab a drink if you need one. And then wherever you're at, let's rock forward to tabletop. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right toes high. Bend your knee and lift and stack your hips. Feel free to move or be still. Maybe kind of donkey kicking your heel towards your glute, looking under your shoulder. Straighten your leg, level your hips, and then step your right foot outside your right hand for lizard pose. So your front knee stacks over your ankle and your knee pulls into your arm and your arm kind of pushes into your knee. So find that pull and push between your arm and your leg and pull your knee towards your midline, pulling your belly button to your spine. So lizard pose, staying right here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release your knee down. Uncurl your toes, stay here, or take a twist, hand to thigh. Push forward and down. Maybe soften your elbow, twist and look over your shoulder. And then bring your hands back to center. Walk them back and straighten your front leg any amount. Half splits prep. And then crawl forward. Stay here or bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand. Maybe it reaches for it. Maybe it captures it and pulls it in any amount. And then we'll release our toes. Plant both hands. Lift your back knee. Push off your back foot. Come to a froggy squat so you can keep your hips high. See if both feet can be flat, or you can drop them low, maybe hands to heart. Hands can stay on the ground and hips can stay high. One more breath in. Exhale, release your palms, lift your hip, and just step back to down dog. Inhale. Exhale, other side. Inhale, the other leg lifted high. Bend your knee, stack your hip. Again, stillness or movement, or maybe even little kicks if that feels right in your body. And then maybe looking under your shoulder, finding your foot floating out there. And then straighten your leg, level hips. Step your left foot, or the foot that's lifted, right outside that hand. And then line it up, right? So pull your knee into your shoulder. Push your shoulder back into your knee. Drop your hips, hugging toward the midline of your body. So energetically trying to connect to that center. And then go ahead, lizard pose, twisting lizard, drop your knee, uncurl your toes, hand to thigh, push forward and down, maybe twist and look over your shoulder. And then release your hand, crawl them back any amount to straighten your front leg. Toes can pull towards your face, arms can frame that leg, or both can be inside that leg. And then crawl back forward. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee, back to lizard pose. Oh, let's drop the knee and take that quad stretch. So here, option to bend that knee, you can stay or reach back, capture your foot, draw it in any amount. And then we'll release the toes, pick up the knee, and then option for a second froggy squat. Top of your mat, kick off your toes, sink your hips any amount. See if you can have both feet flat, maybe hands to heart center, but they can stay planted on the ground as well. Take a breath in. Exhale, release your hands, and then just step back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, see your hands moving on. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, toes touch. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Come all the way up. Exhale, sit low in your chair and pause. Staying right here, squeeze your knees, pull your belly button in. Option to float your heels and send your wings back farther for drinking birds. So heels are hovering close to your mat or they're coming up super high. Breathe for 3. Heels will drop and we'll come back to standing in 2 and 1. Heels drop, come to standing, inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee up, one-legged Tadasana. And then hands to heart, plant your foot for tree pose. We're going to be here a little bit longer in this first pass through, so feel free to grow your tree a little bigger. We have the time to lift your foot higher on your leg if you like. Maybe even grow your arms. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your knee to the sky. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, step it back, warrior 2 pose. Adjust your stance. I think of this pose today, or this sequence, as an earth warrior. How can you be vigilant? How can you be an earth warrior to take care of our animals and our nature that need us? Inhale, reverse warrior, big breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, reach long and then down. Pause here, bend into your knee. Push into the knife edge of that back foot, and now push into that front foot and find star pose. Take up space, big breath in, pause here. Exhale. If you think of yourself as a star in the sky and you look down, you might see that beautiful marble we call Earth. Inhale, sparkle bright. Exhale, hands to heart. Bend your knees and let's take horse pose. Find a little movement and room right here. Hands to thighs. Bow and twist, shoulder to knee. One more time each side. Come back to center, hands to heart. Nice. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior 1 to the back. So arms are out. Pivot your back foot and hop it so it's a little bit closed. A little bit closer to that other leg. Front knee, or now this leg here is bent and this leg is straight. Warrior 1. So think of your heart and your belly facing this side of your mat. Big breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms, stay here, or airplane pose. Launch off any amount, fix your gaze. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release to forward fold. Soften your knees, plant your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back to a high plank. Knees drop, hips are high, forehead to your mat, puppy pose. Rock forward to scorpion dog. You can always do chaturanga and up dog if you'd rather. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, see your hands. Walk or float to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose, airplane your arms. Inhale, come to stand. Exhale, chair pose, airplane arms, and hold. Staying right here. Option to lift your heels for drinking bird. Squeeze your knees tight. Pull your belly in. Fly your wings back a little bit more. One more breath in. Exhale, release your heels. Come to standing mountain pose. Lift your right knee. Flex your toes toward the sky. Hands to heart, set up tree pose. You can keep your foot close to your ankle or help it higher up on your thigh. And then grow your arms in any direction. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your knee to the sky, one-legged Tadasana, and then step way back. If it takes a couple steps, feel free. Earth Warrior Pose right here. That's what we'll call it today. Sink lower in your knees, straighten your other leg more. Keep your shoulders right over your hips. Reverse warrior, breath in. Exhale, side angle, elbow to thigh. Fingers reach high and then maybe overhead. Inhale, star pose, take up space, toes out, heels in. Exhale, horse pose, get low. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, wrap it up, give yourself a hug. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, one more hug. Inhale, star pose. And then warrior one, back to the front. So pivoting on your feet, swing your arm, shorten your stance so your feet closer together. Heart and belly facing. Now this side of your mat. Breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms. Stay right here. Or push off your toes for airplane pose. Breathe. We're here for 3. Forward fold in 2. And 1. Soften your knees, plant your feet, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step back. Drop your knees, arms are straight, forehead to your mat, hips are back, puppy dog pose. Rock forward, scorpion dog. You can also do chaturanga. And then toes curl under, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here, inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Last one, and then we're going to flow. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, see your hands. Exhale, travel to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, back is flat. Exhale to fold. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, airplane your arms, chair pose. Inhale, lift your heels. Stay here as you exhale. Inhale, one-legged mountain, lift your left knee. Exhale, tree pose with hands at heart. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, open up, warrior 2 pose. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, get low, horse pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior 1. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lean forward, your airplane pose for 3. Forward fold in 2. And 1, release your feet to the ground, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step back. Puppy pose, knees down, forehead down. Inhale, rock, drop your hips, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, see your hands. Exhale, walk or float to your hands. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, lift your heels, drinking birds. Exhale, pause here. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, lift your right knee. Exhale, hands to heart, tree pose. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, warrior 2, step way back. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Inhale, take up space, star pose, twinkle bright. Exhale, horse pose, get nice and low. Inhale, burst open, star pose. Exhale, warrior 2, squaring your hips, shortening your stance. Take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, airplane your arms or launch off. Breathe for 3. Forward fold in 2. And 1, release your feet, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, your choice. Puppy pose to scorpion dog or chaturanga to up dog, you choose. Move with your breath. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Take a deep breath in and an open mouth exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, see your hands. Exhale, hold here. Inhale your right toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, Cheetah Pose. Launching forward, shoulder over wrists. Inhale, toes high. Exhale, Cheetah Pose, knee to nose. One more, inhale, toes high. Exhale, low lunge, foot between your hands. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Stack your shoulders right over your hips. Pull your belly button in. Take a breath in. Exhale. Eagle arms. Right arm swings under left. Wrap at elbow and wrap at your wrist. Option to grab opposite shoulders. Whichever you choose, lift your elbows away from your chest. Take a breath in and a breath out. Pivot your back foot flat. Warrior two. Earth Warrior two, legs with eagle arms. Pause. Inhale. Exhale. Unravel your arms. Straighten your front leg. Triangle pose. Pulling your hip back. Reach long. And tick-tock your arms. Option to gently rest your hand on your shin or use the back of your hand against it to twist and open more. And then inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, bring your arms to a T. Pivot your feet further so they're parallel. And then we're just going to send our left arm under our right, wrap at elbow, wrap at wrist. So one more time, eagle arms, other direction. And then we're gonna bend into our front thigh, come all the way up, bend into our left thigh. Doesn't really matter if it's left or right, just choose one and then do the other. One more time each side. Take a breath in and a breath out, stay here, inhale. Exhale. Unravel your arms and then pivot to the back of your mat. Shorten your stance. Both legs are straight for pyramid stretch. So hips and shoulders are stacked. Feet are closer together. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, hinging at your hips, keeping your bicep alongside your ears, reach, reach, reach. Option to bring your hands to your shin, the block, or the floor. Pause. Pull your left hip flexor back, so that crease at your left hip, and roll your right hip forward. And then return your biceps to your ears, rise all the way back up. Interlace your hands behind your back. Squeeze your palms together, take in a breath. And then as you exhale, transfer the weight to your other leg, so that you're balancing right here, toppling tree. Feel free to stay here with your kickstand if balancing isn't for you today. Otherwise, for every inch your chest comes down, your leg lifts up. Toppling tree. And when you're ready, turn it right into standing splits. Fingertips in line with your toes. Maybe you wrap a hand or both around your ankle for supreme balance. Take a big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, crouch and curl. Catch your back, chin to chest, arch and round. Lift your hips back to the sky. Toe heel your feet about hip distance. And then wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. Long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Stay right here. If you'd rather have another set of a froggy squat, feel free. Just a couple of breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Exhale. Release your toes. Step back to downward facing dog. Feel free to move through a vinyasa if you want a little more challenge. Otherwise, we'll breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. Exhale. Inhale your left toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, rock forward, Cheetah Pose, shoulders right over wrists. Inhale, toes high. Exhale, Cheetah Pose, rock it forward. Last one, inhale, toes high. Exhale, low lunge, foot between your hands. Rise up, high lunge, stack your shoulders over your hips. Pause here, a little deeper in your front knee. And then eagle arms, left under right, rapid elbow, rapid wrist. Lift your elbows away from your chest, hands away from your face. Take a breath in. Exhale, Earth Warrior Pose with our eagle arms. Sink deeper in that bent knee. And then unravel your arms. Straighten your front leg, triangle pose. Both legs are straight. Invisible bend in your knees. Reach long. Tick-tock your arms. Hand can gently rest on support, your shin, or maybe they come to the floor. Turn your lifted gaze toward the sun. Take a breath in, reverse triangle. And then exhale your arms to a T. Pivot your feet so they're parallel. And now right under left, rapid elbow, rapid wrist. Elbows come high, hands away from your face. Once again, just side leg stretch, bending into your knees. And then release your arms wide. We're going to take a Prasarita forward fold right here. Arms can melt down your legs, maybe scooping up your heels. You can have them planted. Maybe you do a wide-legged down dog. And then breathe. And then walking your hands back. Soften your shoulders, soften your knees. Roll up to stand, send your hands overhead. Coming back to arms to a T. We're going to pivot back to the front. Shorten your stance, straighten both legs, prepping for pyramid stretch. Hips are square, belly's pulled in. Inhale. Exhale, hinging at your hips with your super flat back and your core engaged. Lower, lower, lower. When your body pauses, release your hands to your shin, a support, or the mat. Draw your right hip forward, or back rather, and roll your left hip down and forward. Breathe. And then return your biceps alongside your ears with a strong core. Come all the way back up. Release your hands behind your back. Take the opposite grip, other thumb on top. Squeeze your palms, lift your heart, inhale. Exhale, push off your back foot. Just pause for a moment, find your balance. You can stay right here. Your toppling tree can just be maybe just barely chopped, so stay high, or every inch your chest comes down, your leg lifts up. See if you can get past that T shape by dropping your heart a little lower than your leg. It's hard, I know. And when you're ready to topple, grab the floor with your fingertips, standing splits. Take it deeper by looking at your lifted leg, walking your heart closer to your chest, maybe grabbing your ankle with one or both hands to pull you deeper. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release your feet. Inhale. Exhale, crouch and curl. Catch your back, chin to chest. And then go ahead and have a seat. Nice work. So we named some animals. Maybe you recognize some. We have a few more poses with some animal names we don't normally do. Let's start with our legs stretched wide, but let's put a big bend in your knees. So tortoise pose is one we don't do very often. It takes a lot of flexibility, so it looks different in everyone's body. So tortoise pose, your knees can be bent or straight, and your hands go under your knees. So feel free to start to walk your hands out and just see how low your chest comes to the floor. It doesn't have to come low, but let it be comfortable in your body. So if you need to stay up here, please stay up here. If you've got a lot of flexibility, feel free to bring your chin right toward the floor. Tortoise pose. Pause and breathe.
have a good friend that has a 60-pound tortoise that lives at her house. So this is for her. And then go ahead and release that by walking your hands back in. And then let's draw our knees together, but let's open them wide and grab our feet. So as you pull on your ankles, let that stack your spine up nice and tall, draw your shoulders back, and then go ahead and flop your butterfly wings, butterfly pose or cobbler's pose. They can be still or they can be flopping and flying and fluttering. Maybe even hinging yourself forward just to feel that nice big stretch on your inner thighs. And then come back to stack your shoulders over your hips and bring your knees together. Plant your feet hip distance apart and plant your hands right behind your shoulders, your fingers pointing toward your heels. And then push into your feet and lift your hips. So sometimes it's called tabletop pose, or reverse table rather. So it can be that, or if you move it around, go ahead and move it around, crab pose. So if you're with someone else right now, see if you can switch places with them in your crab pose. So maybe your glutes have to hit the ground, that's fine, but try to come back to where you started. Push into your palms, lift your hips, let's take the stretch, maybe look back. And then go ahead and release your hips to the ground. Once again, let's bring our knees wide, crawl your fingers under, maybe take another set of tortoise pose, or you can skip it and go right on to butterfly. And then if you're in butterfly, feel free to stay here. We'll just take one deeper stretch by maybe bending forward if that feels right. And then stack shoulders over hips, bring your knees together, plant your feet, second set of crab or tabletop. You can just hold and take this stretch, right? Or go ahead and move it around, maybe get a little practice. Crab pose, another little critter. Some people love them. All right, go ahead and have a seat. Come into tabletop pose. And then downward facing dog. Float your right toes off your mat and then lay your shin across the top of your mat. So sleeping swan or pigeon pose. One leg is long. You can always do this one on your back. Go ahead and lift your heart and then hinge forward and come down any amount, maybe to elbows, maybe all the way to stacked fists or all the way down to your mat. Pause here and breathe. And then as you're ready, walk yourself up. And then we're just gonna roll onto our hip and keep our legs kind of right where they are, but come to a seat. So one leg is long and one leg is bent. Turn your torso toward the stretched leg and just crawl forward any amount for a stretch. And then restack your shoulders over your hips. Plant your hand behind your bent leg, a little bit far away, and then you're gonna push into your knee and your shin and that foot and lift up for stargazer pose. Maybe look back, reach back, push your hips high, and then release your hips back down, and let's spin over that long leg. Just a gentle twist right here. And then we're gonna come back to center, knees together, tabletop, downward facing dog, or if you're doing this half pigeon on your back, feel free to go there now. Otherwise, lay your shin across the top of your mat, take your time to extend your long leg, and then puff up your chest, take a breath, sleeping swan or half pigeon pose, and recline down any amount. Take your time easing in or flop right in if that feels best in your body. Just breathe into the tight sensations in your hips and your glutes. And then slowly make your way out, walk your hands back to your hips. Rock your weight into that hip, and then we'll turn toward that extended leg.
Walk yourself so you're twisting toward it, so your torso faces it, and then lower any amount. And then restack your shoulders over your hips. We'll move into that stargazer's pose. So hand behind you, pushing into your shin and your foot. Lift your hips off the ground. Gaze and fingertips up overhead. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release down. A little spin and a little twist to look over your shoulder. And then bring yourself back to the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll all the way down. Legs up the wall pose. This is one of my favorites. So one thing to do is put a little block or a towel or your hands under your seat. This gives us just enough lift to make this super comfy in your body. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your feet, remove your hands. One set of bridge pose. Knees are bent, feet are flat, about hip distance apart. Push into your flat feet and lift your hips. Stay right here or walk your shoulders under your hips. You can also use a block under your hips instead if you want a supported bridge for another really yummy, relaxing pose. Otherwise, you're pushing into your feet and lifting your hips. Should feel good in your back. And then slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Pushing your low back to the ground, hug your knees in, give them a squeeze. Your chin to your chest. And then happy baby pose. Grab the inside arches of your feet or the sides, rocking side to side. Push your tailbone down, draw your chin towards your chest, but keep your back flat. And then we'll end with one twist together. Hug your right knee in, let your left leg go along, hug your elbows to your sides, and then ease your knee across your body. Twist and breathe. And then let's come back to center, switch knees. Left knee comes in, right leg goes long, hug your elbows to your sides, give it a squeeze. And then ease your knee across your body. And then come back to center. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give them a squeeze. Tuck your chin to your chest, forehead to your knees. Take a big breath in. Exhale, Shavasana corpse pose. Arms and legs are long. Toes flop out. Eyes close. Body softens right into the earth. Stay here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you're ready, draw your knees to your chest, roll to one side, and go ahead and push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Crossing your legs or sitting on your heels, rest your hands on your knees and close your eyes. We're going to end with 3 rounds of lion's breath. So after we take a big breath in, we're going to blow out our breath through an open mouth, sticking out our tongue and seeing if we can make some noise. Here we go. Inhale deeply. Seal your lips, bring your palms to touch. Bring your thumbs to that space right between your eyebrows. The very highest in me sees and is delighted by the highest in you. Together we bow and say, Namaste. Happy Earth Day all. Take care.